One of my favorite words, because it's from my favorite saying, which is my father's saying, my unmatched perspicacity coupled with sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. So he's saying my ability to perceive things, perspicacity, my ability to look around and notice things that other people don't notice, coupled with the sheer indefatigability, I never get tired. The fact that I notice everything and I never get tired makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. You're never tired when you're winning. And I think that that is the easiest way to always self-motivate yourself. That if you ever feel tired or exhausted, or you're trying something and it ain't quite working, or you're trying to make money and you can't seem to work it out, or you're trying to get views and the views don't come, and you feel like, oh, this is so tiring, or I want to quit, or I want to give up, just know the second you start winning, you're going to have unlimited energy to just win forever. There's no such thing as lazy. There's just people who feel demotivated as opposed to lazy. You can take any person, you can take the laziest guy, go home right now, find a guy who sits at home all day and plays video games and smokes weed and say, look, here's how you make $1 million. Here's exactly what you do. But here's a puzzle. Every time you complete the puzzle, I give you 100 grand. He'll stop being lazy because he knows exactly what to do. Once he starts winning, he'll be up all night doing puzzles, getting that money. But because he hasn't been given a very simple, clear path to the money, he can't work out how to do it, and he's too lazy to work out how to do it, so he doesn't want to do it. So you're never tired when you're winning. Whenever I feel a little bit demotivated, or a little bit tired, or a little bit under the thumb, or I feel like there's too much going on, or I'm stressed, I just go, you know what? Once this pulls off, I know I'm going to have unlimited energy to push it to the end. And I think that's the best way to look at it. And another reason you should keep this in mind, you're never tired when you're winning, is you need to keep in mind that your enemy, if they're beating you, are never going to give up. They're never going to quit. They're never going to get tired. They're never going to get exhausted. As soon as your enemy feels like they're winning over you, they're never going to stop. This idea that you can show weakness and vulnerability to your enemy and they won't want to kill you, I think is one of the biggest mistakes in the world. If someone says something negative to you and you go, that really hurt my feelings, that really affects me, they're going to keep doing it. Every man knows this is true. You need to make it very clear. You need to exhaust your enemy, and you exhaust your enemy by being a brick wall of just ignorance. I love, sometimes, you I just love being just blunt force brick wall. Let's put it on a personal level. A girl will say to me, you're so arrogant. I'll say, nah, I'm too humble. You're so arrogant. If I say, don't call me arrogant, if I show I care, she'll go forever. Just like, no, I'm the world's most humble man. I'm so fucking humble. I'm so humble. I just double down on it to the point where I'm in a brick wall. I let her exhaust herself, knocking her head against the wall before she goes, I give up. Your enemies are never tired when they're winning, and you're never tired when you're winning. And that's something to keep in mind.
The true measure of man is how well he can suffer. If you have a family, household, and the man is unhappy because he has a sexless marriage and his children don't respect him, he'll still get up every day, he'll go to work, he'll hide his misery, he'll pay the bills, he will suffer gracefully for the betterment of his family. By logical extension, the measure of a man, the quality of a man, is how much he can suffer without complaining. My whole life is suffering. You watch my videos, you see me smile, laugh, run around, have fun. Of course, because I smile as I drown. You're out here hoping that you're gonna get some lifeboat that's gonna pick you up, and that life's gonna become great all of a sudden, and the sun's only gonna shine, and you get to be an optimist, you don't have to worry anymore. That's never going to happen. You are going to be stressed, you are going to be sad, you're gonna be worried forever. No matter how much money you make, you're gonna be stressed and sad and worried forever. When this big problem you're currently facing, you think, when this thing's out the way, my life will be great. When that's gone, something else is gonna come. It's never going to change. My entire life is suffering. I suffer for everybody around me all day, every day, and they don't even notice because I don't complain about it. The measure of a man is how much he can suffer, how well he can suffer, and still put a smile on his face. You're not a good man because you avoid suffering. You're not a good man by running away from the fight. You're not a good man because you need to be happy. None of that matters. What matters is, can you suffer gracefully and benefit the other people around you? That is your obligation on the planet, to suffer for others. That is the point of duty. The idea that men will suffer for something other than themselves. It built the entire world. Every skyscraper was men suffering to build it. You're never going to get recognition. It's true. But the universe and God, if you continue to show up time and time and time again, in the end, you will win. So why are you emailing me, begging me for help? You think I don't have my own problems? The problem is in your mind, because you are praying for a happy life, like a girl. Men don't. Every night, I have nightmares. Every sleep is interrupted. All of them. I am stressed. I am anxious. I am worried all day, every single day, until the day I die. And because I absorb so much of that, the people around me don't have to feel that way. And that is what makes me gravitational. That is how you generate aura. That is how you make women want you. Women are out in the storm looking for a man who can shelter them. They're looking for a house. You must be the house, which can take the hail, take the rain, take the snow, take the thunderstorm, take the lightning. When the tornado comes, you're still standing. That's what they're looking for. They want to say, if I give my life to this man, all of the suffering won't reach me. That's how you get women to adore you. And that is how you force the universe to capitulate and give you the win in the end. It is nothing but endless persistence. And the quality of a man is how well he can suffer. You need to build your entire life based on this knowledge. You're never gonna have loyalty around you unless you build your life based on the fact that I am suffering so endlessly that when it comes to time to call the debt, people are gonna pay me. It's the same with your friends. My friends know if they need me, I'm there. That's why they're there for me. You think a friend is made during the good times? You think that's what a friend is? You think when the sun is shining and everything's going well and you're hanging out, having a great time, that's your person's your friend? There's not a person alive who won't hang out with you when things are well. You make $10 million that you're gonna spend in 1 week. You tell me you can't find friends? Of course you can. Your friends are who are there for you when everything has gone wrong. Don't you understand? Your entire life needs to be optimized for the fact that you were going to endlessly suffer. Because the world is ungrateful and everything is unfair. Like a boss battle in a video game. The enemy always has more health than you. It's never going to be fair. It's never going to be a level playing field. They're always going to attack you. You're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your house. You're going to get hit with new bills. Your woman's going to cheat on you. You're going to have your heart broken. The world isn't fair. It is endless suffering. You are drowning. And eventually, when you really feel like you want to give up and you really feel like you want to quit, God is going to give you some air bubbles to lift you to the surface just long enough to get one more gasp of air. And then you're going to go back down into the ocean. Dark, cold, deep, black. And you're going to struggle to breathe for weeks, months, years. Difference between you and me is when I'm under there, when I'm in the water, I smile because I've learned to like it. If I can't change it, then why don't I like it? If I can't change the very foundational principles of the physics which make this universe, if my suffering is eternal, it is forever, it is deep, and it is very damaging to me, the best thing I can possibly do is learn to like it. That's how you attract things from the universe. That's how you get money. That's how you get women. It's how you get power. It's how you get friends. You get all of it because you smile when no one else does. I love when things go, give me more. That's what I want. That's what I'm best at. That's what I'm best at. And you know what? The most unfortunate thing about all of this, eventually, when you have all these friends and all this money and all these women and all this power and all this aura, unfortunately, it fills you with air. It fills you with oxygen to the point where you can't even sink anymore. And one day you wake up on the surface and you're not sinking, you're floating. You're like, I want to go back. And I miss my old life. I miss the suffering. I miss the pain. And fucking emailing me complaining about having exactly what I can want. If you think that there's ever going to be a version of masculine consciousness which is anything other than constant anxiety and pain, you need to wake the fuck up. The only guarantee that exists on this planet is that you are going to suffer and hate fucking life. And it doesn't change no matter how many cars you have, how big your house is, you're gonna hate your fucking life.
I talk to so many young men. You're 17. You're not supposed to be a billionaire. You're not supposed to be rich. In fact, if you were rich at 17, you'd be a dipshit. You'd be a bad person if you were rich at 17. You're actually supposed to be poor at that age. You need to grow into money. The worst thing that could happen to you right now is easy money. That's actually the worst thing. You're not ready for money. You need to go and struggle and suffer and become a man and then get some money, because money will amplify your characteristics. So if you're honorable, money will make you more honorable. But you're a 17-year-old. If you make fast money, you're going to be a worse, arrogant little brat than you currently are. So There's so many people who are losing themselves when time is already borrowed, and it's such a sad thing. Being rich means nothing. Being rich is boring. It is only fun because you remember being poor. Otherwise, it's shit. You don't want a Ferrari. You want to be able to say, I can't believe I can afford a Ferrari when I used to not be able to afford food. That's the whole point of it. You need the negative. The negative is everything. This is what people don't understand. All the dark times, all the bad times, all the negative things that happen to them, that's the only thing that actually generates happiness for you. The happiness isn't happy in and of itself. It's a reflection off of the negative. You need the negatives to be happy. If you don't have negative thoughts or negative memories in your mind, you can never be happy ever. This is why kids who are born into rich families with really privileged upbringings end up doing a whole bunch of drugs and being retarded and stupid because they don't have enough struggle. You've seen the movie The Matrix. I talk about The Matrix all the time, but they say it in the movie. We tried to build a utopia for humans at first. We tried to build a human utopia, but the mind rejected it. The human mind needs struggle for some reason. So we had to build this terrible world that you all struggle in. This is true. I couldn't lose all my bad memories because perhaps in my old age I'm becoming too optimistic, but I can't see a future where I suffer nearly as much as the suffering I've already been through. My life's too fucking fantastic now. My version of suffering is what I described this morning, the horrible predicament when my Pagani wouldn't start and I had to take my Bugatti instead. That's my version of a bad day now. And I tell my PA, fix the Pagani, and I get my Bugatti. That's my version of a bad day. I've had worse days, and I think I should remember them, otherwise I'll lose all touch with reality. I don't think afraid is the right word, but I think the biggest waste of life is to die without being remembered. I think that it is your job as a man to leave a mark in history. I think that's important. I think the true measure of a man is not only the size of his enemies, but what size or what dent he leaves in history when he's gone. I think that's the most important thing. I think I am getting everything that needs to be done, which is how I measure my life. I measure my life in brutal competence. If there's X amount of things that must be completed, as long as they're completed, I'm happy, irregardless of how I feel while I'm completing them or how I feel at the end. If I'm sad the entire time or depressed or stressed the entire time, as long as they get done, I'm happy, if that makes sense. I can be happy and stressed at the same time. I can be happy and miserable at the same time. In fact, part of me is happy when I'm miserable. I enjoy being miserable like a grumpy old man. If I have to be in a bad mood to get things done, then I'm happy to do that because I want my things done. So how am I really doing? I guess a lot of people would answer that with quite a emotional, intangible answer. But for me, my answer is very tangible. My empire is succeeding and flourishing. My children are fed. I'm alive and breathing. I have enough money to buy most of the things I want. So I think I'm doing very well. And I don't think how I feel actually has anything to do with it at all. I actually have this outlandish, crazy theory that basically everybody is the same level of stressed, depressed, and anxious, irregardless of their situation. I would say that the most famous, well-known rich people on the planet, or the people who can barely pay their bills, everyone is feeling the same level of stress, depression, and anxiety. And how people deal with that is the difference in the personalities as opposed to whether they feel it or not. Because there are people out there who sit and believe, if only I had this and this, I wouldn't feel this way anymore. Or this person's life's fantastic, they must not be stressed or anxious. And none of that's true, because problems are relative. So even if you have a fantastic life, you're always going to have small issues. And I feel like you just make the problems bigger if there's no big problem to fill the space. I think everybody is basically the same level of stressed. Everybody has something they're preoccupied with. Everybody has a degree of anxiety. Everybody has something they're not happy with. Everyone to a degree is slightly depressed about X, Y, Z. And the difference in the personalities are simply the people who complain about it, talk about it all the time, or let it get them down, as opposed to the people who say, okay, well, this is the human condition. This is how life is supposed to be. I'm an adult and I'm never going to be happy like a child ever again. So this is how I'm going to deal with my life. I'm going to look at all the problems, accept them as serious, and smile anyway. So I don't think anybody is any happier than anyone else, to be honest. But truthfully, the secret to everyone at home is that everybody is the same. Everybody has the same degree of stress, anxiety, depression, irregardless of their personal circumstances. That's what I truthfully believe. I don't believe anyone's really any happier than anyone else. It's just about having the mental fortitude to say, I don't care whether all these bad things are happening. I'm going to smile anyway. This is the secret to life.
But I will tell you that I have learned the only skill that matters on this planet is endless persistence, stubbornness. No matter what you do to me, no matter what you hit me with, I'm going to get up and you're going to have to do it again. I will exhaust you I will exhaust you via persistence. No matter what you shoot me with, no matter what you punch me with, I will turn up again and make you do it over and over and over until eventually the cosmos itself respects me. God will respect me. Society will respect me. Women will respect me. My friends will respect me. The universe will respect me. Not because I always win, but because I always turn up ready to lose over and over again. No matter how badly you hurt me, I'm going to be there. I'm going to make you work to beat me. Stop hoping for an easy life. Stop complaining you lack dedication and motivation. How can you lack dedication when you're drowning? How can you lack motivation when you can't breathe? Maybe you have it too comfortable. Or maybe you're just born to lose. Maybe you should drown. Maybe your ancestors struggled against saber-toothed tigers, only for you to be born 10,000 years later so that the second something difficult happens to you, you can piss your pants and cry. Maybe that's why all of your ancestry died in wars, struggled to find food, struggled to build shelter so that you could eventually be born, and in the year 2026, you can sit at home, feel sad for yourself, and give up. Maybe that's why all your ancestors struggled all day, every day, so that you could disgrace your bloodline. Maybe that's what you're here for. Maybe you are here to lose, but I'm not. I'm here to win. And I understand that the only way I'm gonna win is to never quit. So I don't have a problem with dedication, and I don't have a problem with motivation. I have very few problems because maybe I'm a sadist. But I will stand up and say, hit me again. Do it to me again. I like it. The day you learn to enjoy the suffering on a long enough time scale, eventually, and only then, the suffering will end.